on, I'd like to introduce you to Frank.
I am Frank Drummond, and my story is different. I never served in the Civil War, but I will tell you something about it and how it affected me. I was born in Canada to Patrick and Margaret Drummond in 1840. In 1863, I migrated to New York, and the Civil War was the topic of the time. Today you've heard stories of young men who were willing to fight to save the Union. They left behind their wives and often young children. They went to serve with their friends, neighbors, and relatives. However, not everyone wanted to serve. It was possible and legal for a person to hire someone to take his place during the Civil War. And that is what happened to me. I was young, unattached, no job, and willing to serve. However, as a new immigrant from a foreign country, I was not eligible for the draft. I could, however, take the place of someone. Unfortunately, or perhaps I should say luckily, the war ended before I saw any action. That was long ago, so I don't remember exactly what I received. Perhaps it was about $300. I'm sure it was less than $1,000. While in New York, I met Catherine Bolin, and we were married in about 1872. We spent some time in Kentucky, and then moved to Chicago. From Chicago, we moved to Grayslake. Now in Kentucky and Chicago, I had been a policeman, but in Grayslake, I turned to painting. Kate and I had 5 children. Now some of you have probably heard their stories, but bear with me as a proud father and grandfather as I repeat them. Daughter Emma was born in 1881. She married Tom Mogg in 1906. He became manager of the Sears estate, and that property today is known as the town of Wildwood. Tom and Emma had no children, and they are buried in this plot with Kate and me. Daughter Bessie married Renee Van Wood in 1906. His parents operated the Lakeside Hotel on Druce Lake. It was a popular summer resort for city visitors. Renee died in 1908, shortly after the birth of a baby boy, and he's buried in this cemetery. Bessie later remarried. My son Harry married Laura Winters, and son George married a woman whose first name was Mary. My son Frank married Ruth Triggs. He had a general store in Round Lake for 40 years. Frank and Ruth had 2 daughters. One became Jane Mashak, and the other, Ruth Mogg. I'm very proud of all my children and grandchildren, but I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Ruth. While in high school, in fact, Grant High School, she was given the assignment to research a family. That research led to a lifelong passion of researching local families and places. And during her lifetime, she wrote and published many little booklets. She wrote newspaper articles. She took road trips with her husband Bill to follow the path of the Oregon Trail. She learned about people from our area who were 49ers. It's too bad that I didn't get to see any action during the Civil War. Then she could have traced my path and told my story. I will conclude it by saying that I died in 1921, and my wife Kate followed me 6 years later. Thank you.